everyone, here we are for day number 4. Let's see what's behind the door. Let's see. Door number 4 is up here on the top, over by the house. It's a little bit hard to see at first. So it's right here. Let's see what we have. We have, all right, the little pull tab is on the top. To open the door, we have, oh, wait, what's this? Well, this is different. Oh, there are little charms. There's a flower. There's a snowflake. There's a sun. And there's a pumpkin. It's a jack-o'-lantern. Well, these are interesting. So there's 4 of them. 2 gold, 2 silver. I dropped a snowflake. Let's see what we're going to do with these. All right, I'm going to have to think about this one. Let me have a scrounge around and let's see what we find. All right, so here's the charms. So my first thought was these are 4 seasons. So we have the flower was spring, the sun is summer, the pumpkin's fall, and then the snowflake is winter. Now, with the Advent calendar last year, I did one that was a Friends for All Seasons when we had a seasonal thing. But I don't think that, well, first of all, I did that last year. I don't want to do that again. But these are different colors, so I don't think these are going to work all on the same card. So I think what I'm going to do is use these charms on 4 different cards in 4 different ways. So I've got some papers cut out over here. And so I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to start with the pumpkin for fall, because that one's going to be a simple technique. And then we'll go on from there with more complex things. Not anything hard, but just something that will take a little bit more time. So I've cut out some fall papers. Now this was from Autumn Blessings. That came out several years ago. And this was Woodland Animals. That was a SAR Signature collection that came out several years ago. And then just green paper, and I have this peach colored card blank, which would go. So we're going to start with this. So I have some, let's see, for the sentiment, I was thinking, you are a blessing. So I used my Cameo, because I do use my Cameo for a lot of my sentiments, because it's just really nice and easy to cut, to make the sentiments the size you need, and in a font you want for whatever project you're making. So I'm going to take this off. I think this will be the right size. Let's see. This will be on here. Oh, this might be a little too big. Let's see. Guess I can make my tags a little smaller. Because I have a shadow for it, which I cut out everything in white because I wasn't sure what color I was going to end up using. Let me peel this off. Let's decide what color. I was thinking maybe the green. This will be on here like this. Or brown. You know what? I think I'm going to go brown, because there is brown in this paper. And I may have to cut these tags down a little bit. And then I'm going to take some jute, and I'm going to hang the pumpkin from the jute. So that was my thought, but this is definitely too big. I'm going to have to cut the tag down a little bit, I think. All right, let me go grab the jute. All right, and the jute is from Vintage Diary. That was a pretty good sized spool of jute, so I still have some left. So let's take this. Let's see. So we'll have that. And let's see. That was upside down. This is down here in the corner. So these tags I made a while back. Crafters Companion came out with this tag maker. It made 1.5 inches, 2 and 2.5 inches. So what you do is you just cut your strip of paper the size that you want, the width you want, and then when you slide it in here, there's There's little edges here that will hold it in place to make sure it's centered. And then when you punch it down, it makes the shape for you, which is really kind of nice. So I need to cut these down because these are, I think I cut these. Cut these a little longer than 3. So maybe if I go 2.5. Let's see. So if this is here. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this one down. All right, let me just grab my trimmer. And let me cut this to 2.5. Let's see, there's 2.5. And we'll just cut those off like that. So they'll be more square. All right, so we need the jute. Let me cut this. I'm just going to fold that over, run it through. Now we'll need our pumpkin. I will tie this in a knot. Let's see. So that will be like that on the card. Now, do I want a bow or do I just want to gather it all up? Let's see. I think I'm just going to gather it all up. All right, so we'll take the ends, leave a little bit of the end so I can tie it. And I'll take this. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to go around the top of what I've gathered. And if I can find the hole here. There it is. And then we'll go through the hole. Get the pumpkin out of the way. And this one I'm going to go underneath, pull it through the top. So now I can tie it. And this way they're coming from opposite directions and they won't pull it. Because I know we've all done it. We've gone to tie something and then the whole thing unravels on us. So we do it that way. It stays put. Pull that tight. Tied in a double knot. And there's our little tag. Just fluff this out a little bit. And we put it on the card, we'll put it on like that. All right, so let's see here. So I trimmed this. So it's now still shaded on the bottom like the piece of paper was, but not up here. So let me grab my brown blending brush. Bring my mat. And I'm going to go around this edge that was cut so it all matches. Because the paper itself had an edge to it. Go. Let's see. Do I want to edge this in a little bit? You know what? I think I will. Just to make it match. Probably won't show up much in this dark paper, but it'll be there. All right, so this will go on here. That much I know. Let me get this out of the way. Now this paper is leaves, but it really does have an up and a down, because this leaf here is upside down. So let's make sure I don't put it on the card upside down. And I know this is going to go on here. Let's do that. And let me go over these measurements for you. So the card base is 5 by 7. So the printed paper is 4 by 6. So the green is 1/8 of an inch. Nope, it's a, you know what, let me measure that. I was cutting so many pieces of paper there. 1/4 of an inch. So the printed paper is 4 by 6, and the green is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. All right, so that's going to be here. So then this will be over here. Now we can decide if this is too big. If it is, I can always print another one and just make it smaller. That's the nice thing about cutting out your own sentiments is you can make them whatever size you want. Let's see. You know what? I think I just need to cut a little smidge off this tag. Oh, I think I'm off screen. All right. That's probably not enough. Let's see. Now I'm cutting up because the ledge is here to hold my paper still. So I like to cut against the edge. That way your paper doesn't shift around on you. All right, so I think that will be short enough now. And we're going to spread, when I glue this down here, I'm going to spread it out a little bit. So that will get glued on like this. I think this will go up on foam. And I think, let's see, what color? First I was thinking brown. I think I will do brown. Yeah, I'm going to do brown. So let me grab warm cocoa. So I have Gina K warm cocoa because this is a dye ink, and I like using dye inks. A lot of the Crafters Companion ink is designed to do a certain thing. You know, there's pigment ink, there's water reactive ink, but a lot of times just a plain straight up dye ink is what you need. And these blend really well. They, if you take a blue and a red, you really are going to end up with a purple on the inside, which is really, really nice. All right, that is done. Let's see if I made a mistake here. Oh, you know what? Do I have more room if I do it this way? Oh, I do. All right. Now that white looks really stark now. Now I don't like the white. Let's see, what color can I put on here? I will put on, I'm thinking a light orange. All right, let me see what's left on here. I think I'll use what's left on here on my orange brush. And just get rid of this white. Oh, that's much better. All right, so let me glue this down. So I know this is going to get glued to this. And I think this is going to get foam. All right, let me grab my foam. So you are a blessing. I think that does fit there like that better for some reason. All right, we'll put this down here. And this will be spread out like this and glued up here. And then this will be a nice thank you card. Then on the inside, I'll just put a thank you message. But I won't do today. I know I like to do the insides of cards, but since we're doing 4 cards, I'm going to skip the inside for now. Spread that apart. Put it up here in the corner. And I'm going to put some tacky glue on the back of this. And hold that there for a moment. All right, so there is card number 1. The most obvious choice is to add it on a tag and have it hanging. All right, there is number 1. Now I'm going to grab a cup of coffee before I start card number 2 because I am losing my voice. All right, so I've gotten something to drink, so hopefully I don't lose my voice. And I've gotten everything for the sun. Now the sun to me is like a summer card. So what I grabbed was another colored card base. This is 4.5 by 6.5, the orange mirror card. Then I have this, which was in a Crafter's Companion subscription box, which is 4.25 by 6.25. Will go on here. And then here, I think I may color it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This is 4 by 6. Now, I did grab the watering can with the flowers. That was from the other window. And I grabbed a thank you out of my stash. And what I'm thinking for here, for summertime, nope, don't need that. That's the other card. I have some gold twine from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And it matches that gold pretty nicely. So I'm going to use this on here. I'm going to wrap it around, hang this, put this on here, and then put that on here. So I may color it maybe a blue. I'm not sure yet. So that's where I'm headed. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is stamp the little watering can on here. So let me grab my stamping platform. Grab the paper. So the thank you will be on here. The watering can will be on here. Because I do like to go back and use the past windows as I'm making the cards as we go along and we get a bigger pile of things that we can pull from. I do like to do that. And then that will be up here on the gold. Yeah, so that looks about right. Let me stamp these on here. I think I'm just going to use black. And since I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the background, I'm going to use the Gina K ink, the Algam ink. Because once this dries, and it only takes about 30 seconds to dry, you can use watercolors or alcohol markers on it, or even colored pencils. So when you're not quite sure what you want to do, if you want to use more than one media on a project, this ink is really good to use. Because it stands up to it all. Let's see. Stamp this. Move this out of the way. Okay, I'm starting to think this thank you is thicker than the flower. So let's take the thank you off. Yep, that was it. Yeah, so this is an older Crafter's Companion one. And I think they've changed the thickness of their stamps. And so sometimes I have trouble mixing them. So I think that's what's going on there. There we go. Now we're all set. Okay, let's put this away. All right, so I grabbed some markers to color in the watering can. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper. All right, we'll use this. So the watering can, I think I'm just going to make it a gray. Make that more in the background. I'm going to leave the middle here for my highlights. I'm going to go back over here, back around here. Make it more dark under the flowers where there would be a shadow. And I'm purposely letting this dry here, because when you let it dry and then go back over it, I think you get a little bit better coverage. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think you do. Then quickly go over the middle lightly, so it will leave a highlight. Go over the bottom again. So I think the flower, oh, that may not be bright enough. Let me find a brighter pink. Oh, that's better. That matches the paper a little bit better. All right, so let's color this really quickly. And let's see, I think there's 4 of these. Nope, I thought there was another one of those. Guess not. All right, let's color all the leaves. That done. What color for the heart? I think we need, let's see. I don't want to do pink because I've got pink and pink there. Maybe the yellow. Okay. Okay, so this will be on here. I know a lot of times I draw ground. I don't think I'm going to draw ground here. I think I'm just going to shade this in. So I think I'm going to take the blue. I think blue. Yep, I'm going to do it very lightly. I have a lot of color on here apparently. So let's just do a very light blue. So we're catching the corners. Catching the edge. So I'm trying to catch more of this edge than anything else. I'm going to hold my handle way down here, since there is a lot of blue left on here. Looks like it might be the powder blue from from Gina K. Oh, people. Let's see if the voice makes it. I think that's all that needs. So that will stay highlighted. And like that. I think that's all I want to do there. Yep, I think that's it. All right, so let's glue this together. So let's see, I want to wrap the twine here. Question is, do I want to go this with the twine, or do I want all 3 pieces with the twine? think I'm going to go all 3 pieces together because that's the biggest border on the card. So I think I'm going to glue these 3 together and then the twine around that. And once again, this was a 4x6. And this was 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Then we'll glue it onto here. And this one is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. And this gives it a tiny border. There we go. That's more in the center. There we go. Now I will take the twine. I will probably go around 3 times. Let's see. 1, 2. So I'll need about this much. I'm going to take a piece of tape and start in the back. So I think I want it to be, there's my son, about here. All right. Next, I just need this to hold it in place as I wrap it. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Third time around, we need to put the charm on. Let me trim the end off this, it's fraying. Make sure it's going to lay flat. Okay, we'll go that way. Now we'll grab another piece of tape. That off. Yeah, I don't think that's going to slide around now that it's on there. Now to put it together or spread it out. Let's see. Well, that looks more interesting. So let's do this. Let's tie this together here at a point. I will loop this through here to hold it in place. I will knot this. Let's see. These need to be shorter. Let's see. There we go. That is on there. And I'll put this on here. And that will go on here. Make sure you put glue across the back, so that will all get glued down. And that's pretty thin. If it was any thicker string, I would probably put this up on foam a little bit, but I think that will be fine. Make sure we're not putting that on upside down. And there we go. Card number 2. Now let's work on card number 3. This is going to be our springtime card with the flower. Now this kind of looked like a rainbow sort of, and the paper itself was more of a circle, but I cut it to where I would have this kind of curved edge here. And this came from a subscription box from Crafter's Companion. And I'm going to use 2 circle dies here to cut a hole in here, and I'm going to hang the flower in here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make a frame for the hole I'm going to make. So I'm going to take these 2 dies. I'm going to take a piece of washi tape so I can hold it down. I'm going to center these as best I can. Let's see, let me pick this up and look at it. That looks pretty good. Then I don't need to cut this whole thing out, so I'm just going to cut around here. Bring in my mini, just for this little thing. And we're going to cut this out. Let's see what we ended up with. Well, that looks good. So what I did here is the outside one has the little stitched edge to it. The inside one was plain. So I ended up with a circle like this. I think that will be good. So we'll use that. Move this out of the way, because now I will just need the inside die. So this is 5 by 7, and the card base is 5 by 7. So this is going to get glued straight on here. So I'm going to take some dry adhesive, and let's see. So this is probably going to be here. Now I'm going to make this a birthday card. So this is the happy birthday I have, and this I did on my Cameo, because I do like to do my sentiments on there. You can pick the size and everything you need. So this is going to be like this. So this will be up here. So I'm going to stick a little bit of adhesive back here. And I'm going to lay this down where it's going to go. Make sure we're all nice and straight. Take this, put this back on here. That's going to be there. So this will be in the middle. Be far enough down? Yeah. All right. And I'm going to cut through both of these at the same time using my electric machine. All right, so let's put this over here. We have our circle. We don't need this anymore. Take this off. There you go. All right, so let's pull this off. All right. So now I have this thread that I'm going to put the flower on. And this will hang here. Don't need all this. All right, let me grab some tape. Let me get this straight. Now I can either put it up toward the top, or I can pull it to the sides. So let's see. That's straight to the sides. I think I'll dangle it. That was my first thought. I think I'll stick with it. Put it together. And put some tape there. And I'm going to pull it down on itself. And put some more tape here. That will keep it from sliding. Now I'm going to hold it up. Make sure it doesn't hit, which it doesn't. All right, so now I can glue this on. And I want to make sure this is lined up correctly, because I could always trim the ends around here if I had to, if it wasn't completely lined up straight. Pull this back. Now this will get glued onto here. Give it a nice little frame. All right, let's give that a second to hold. And while that does that, let's talk about this for a second, the measurement. So this was 5 by 7. So this print was 5 by 7. The circle here is, the opening is 1 3/4. And then the frame itself was 2 1/2. Double check that. Yep, 1 3/4. All right, so now we have a little dangly card. And it's all nice and neat on the inside, nice and neat on the outside. All right, so now we will make this a happy birthday card. I think I'm going to do something a little different this time. So I'm going to take my foam and close this up. So I'm going to leave this offset. I'm going to leave the offset white because there's a lot of color going on in here, and I'm going to leave it white. But I'm going to separate the 2 layers with foam. So I'll put some foam here. And we'll put some here. Put some over here. Let's see if I can cut a thin strip that can go on here. Yep. All right, that should do it. Let's see if I can put one here. Yep, all right, that should do it. So let's take this, peel all these off. Now I'll line this up. There you go. So now you can see it has dimension to it, but it's white underneath. You don't always have to add color. And this will get glued onto the front of the card. This will go on here. And then when this hangs, it will look like that. And when it's open, that will just dangle in the hole. Now I would, let's say this, whatever the inside message is going to need to go below that spot. So it's going to need to go down here. But that's it. That is card number 3. Simple as that. All right, final card is going to be the snowflake. So this is going to be a Christmas card. So we have the snowflake. And this one, I'm going to make a little shadow box in the front of the card to put this in. And I think this foam will be thick enough. It's going to be really close, but I think that's going to be thick enough. All right, so what I'm going to use to cut this little frame out is from Crafter's Companion Inverted Stitched Lace Squares. These came out a while ago, so a lot of you may have them. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here, so we have a piece of blue, and I thought about using the stencil from the other door, but I think I'm going to stick with the blue. So I think it'll be a bigger contrast on the white. So the acetate, which I'm going to stick a piece of washi tape on so I don't lose track of it. Like that, so we don't lose it. We've all done that. So this will be on here. So I will have to cut a hole through both of these, and then this will be the background, and then the foam will be on here to raise this up. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did in the last card. I'm going to figure out where I want to put this. And then the Merry Christmas will be down here. So that should be in the middle about here. So for this, I think I'm going to cut the bigger one out because this doesn't have a cutting edge on the outside. And I think I'm going to set it inside. At least that's my thought, which I think is going to work. So here again, I'm going to take some tape. About where this is going to go. I think I want it a little lower down here. So about here. I will tack that together. Yeah, let me get more in the center here. Like this. Let's see, does that look centered? Yes, it does. Let's take this. This will be down here. Get a piece of washi tape. And I'll cut this like this. And let me run this through the machine. All right, so this went all the way through. All right, take this off. Don't need that piece. Now in this piece here, we're going to cut the frame, so we'll need this. This in the middle. I just need a little space around it. that moved. Like that. And here, I think I'm just going to grab my little mini. And we will run this through. And now we have this pretty frame. I will clean that up later. Don't need that, don't need that. All right, so for this card, the acetate will sit in between here. So all we need is a square. Now it looks like I'm cutting air. We need a piece of acetate over here. And get some glue. Cover that. All right, that is down. All right, the rest of this, we'll just get regular liquid glue. And this will be lined up like that. Now this square should sit in here, which it does. Oh, I need to poke out some of these little holes. Let's see, I don't see my pokey tool, so I will use this. This is my quilling tool, but it's working. I had my pokey tool in the kitchen earlier, so it may not have made it back in here. There we go. So now, come over to the scrap. I'm going to lay this in here. There we go. So now that's flat. Oh, that looks good. It's what I was envisioning in my head. You know, sometimes when you think about something in your head and how it comes out are two different things. All right, and this will go on here. Let's get rid of that. Now this will need foam. Now let's test this out. I may need 2 layers of foam. So let's see here. We can decide what color I want to do the Merry Christmas. So I'm going to put foam here. And here. And here. And here. Now, let's see what happens. Get rid of that. When this sits on here, you need to know if this is going to be thick enough for it not to hit it. Oh, yeah, that's going to be perfect. It was going to be close, I wasn't sure. All right, so we have that. So now we'll need to put foam on the rest of this. will be down the side, across the bottom, this side, and I think I'll put a little bit across the middle here for some support. Pull that off. There we go. All right, let me get rid of all these little pieces first. Take the handy dandy lint brush. And done. All right, so this will be here. So we want this hanging in here. So let's get some thread. It's the same thread I used in the last card. Peel this off. I want this in the center. Let's look at this. Is there a front and a back to this? I don't think so. I think they're the same. So I'm going to hold this with my finger in the middle, and I will press it up on here. I will go back on itself. Go. Now that will hang like that. So let's peel the rest of this off. That's all of it. Now I'm going to hold the card up because I want to make sure the snowflake is dangling correctly. So I'm going to stand the card up and apply the front. There. So now and it is a tight fit, so it should pretty much stay put. Slides a little bit. There we go. All right, so now we will have the back for our Merry Christmas, and I have to decide what color I want to make this. Oh, let's see. I was originally thinking gray. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a gray background with blue letters. I think that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll even do sparkly blue. Let's look at this. Let's see what this looks like. Here's silver. That's kind of dark too. I think soft stone is very close to this gray that's in here. So let's try that. Let's see what's on this black brush. Oh, I think that might be it. Let's load this up. see. If we don't like it, I can put something else on there. Nope, I think that's fine. So what color for Christmas? So I decided I didn't like the white, and I recut it out in silver glitter card, and I think I'm going to like this a lot better. So let's bring this in. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better. But now I want this to be slightly blue. So let me grab my blue. Let's see what's left on here. Well, that's pretty close. So let's put some blue on here. Let's see. What will this look like? Oh, that's a lot better. I like that a lot better. All right, so let's use this. Let me grab my glue. Let's get this all lined up. That's kind of fun. All right, let me get this out of the way. Our card back in. I think I want to put this up on foam. And this foam is only 1/16. It's usually with a shaker card I use 1/8. So this will still just be the thickness of a shaker card, even with putting this on foam. Yeah, that needs to be lifted up. And we are just about done with 4 cards. Let's put this in the middle. And we will call this finished. So there we go. So let me grab the other cards. All right, so here was our winter card. Here was our fall card, where it was hanging here on the tag. Our summer card, which we ran it on string. And our spring card, which we made it a dangly charm here in the middle, which is a little different than the way the shadow box is here. So there we go. 1 door, 4 cards. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, give me a like. And if you want to see the other one, subscribe, and then you'll get a notification every day when I post the rest of the advent calendar. And until tomorrow, stay crafty.